Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Canuckin Nuts with your Halifax Vikings in your number 2 at the trade deadline. I apologize for the in-between again. You know, like I said, I mentioned I got school, I got stuff to do. So we left off last episode. We are at the trade deadline. Currently over 500 with 31-29-3 record. We are not going to make, we're 5 points out, but I still want to get more assets before we really consider ourselves to push for that extra playoff spot. So last episode, Andrew Kopp, we found out, could go for a first in Dallas. Now I was reading some comments, and this one guy, Colin Alucius, I'm sorry buddy if I pronounced your name wrong, but he said check where Dallas is in the standings, and if they're a top team, maybe try and steal a second and a player instead. So that could work. We could get a prospect back. But if they're in the middle pack tier team, we should just take the first though. So let's take a look at the Dallas Stars. So the Dallas Stars are currently Central. Okay, so they're third in their division, sitting at 76 points. I would say, so 65 points. I think you could safely say they're making a playoff. Yeah, they look like they might be making a playoff push. Or sorry, a playoff push, a solidified playoff spot. But it doesn't hurt to try actually trying to get that second from Dallas instead. So why don't we try it anyway? Getting extra players always helps a rebuild. They do not have their second, but why don't we still look at rookie skaters and see what we could look for? We got Gleason here, Benjamin Gleason. I picked him up before, nothing too special, I must say. It'd be nice if I actually had these guys scouted. As for goaltenders, Cedric Point, I think his name is. Colton Point, my bad. So nothing really out of the ordinary to pick up when it comes to rookies. I mean, the best one is Adam Marishin. I don't know. Besides that, really, Ty Della Rodera. We could try. Let's try Del Rodera because he's got technically an elite. But what about this Harley guy? Now I'm just confused with when we don't have it. Thomas Harley, first round, no clue. So why don't we try Del Rodera and a third? I'll take our third back, I guess. And we give up Andrew Kopp. Where is he? He's got a lot of value. We don't know what this is bringing us back, so I'm going to throw in an extra pick just in case this Del Rodera guy is not what we think it is. I'll try and just get like a fifth back. So let's see if this goes through. Trade rejected. Okay. So really what I wanted, let's try this one just without it. Rejected as well. So when it comes to getting someone, it looks like we're just going to settle for a first unless I could try and sneak one of the other guys out. Like this Nima Mela guy. He's from a 4th round pick. He only has 7th defenseman potential. There's not really much also. What about Billy Cizikas? Yeah, there's not really much. Jacob Peterson. Let's try and throw let's just try and throw Peterson into, see if this will go through. So Kopp for a first and Peterson, trade rejected. And I highly doubt if I ask for Cizikas that they'll give it to me. Cizikas, yeah, trade rejected. So we're gonna get a first for Kopp. That's not all too bad, but I mean, getting a first for a guy who I thought would just be a third liner is not the worst thing in the world. So Noel Achari is going to come up and take over his spot in the roster. So we'll just swap Noel Achari in. All right. So one trade for sure off the books. I forget a lot of the trades as well that we could have got offered. So why don't we just take a quick look quickly before I forget. Looking for that one year guys that could get us some kind of value back. So Carlo is 24, and I did not shy away from potentially finding a way for that. So let's see if we get Brandon Carlo. What did we get for Carlo? Alex Steen, seconds, Aberg, Bukestad, Rust, Hornfist, Peterson, Barchi. A lot of seconds when it comes to the way of Brandon Carlo. I'll think about that for a second, though. I do know I have a lot of injuries. Jake McCabe, what would he like? Or what can we get from McCabe? I'm thinking roughly the same. So we get more, actually. Seconds. Shaw, second. Third. Seconds, like a lot of seconds. Pittsburgh really wants to make a deal with us. Who else is there? Koshe, Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand was one I think I wanted to look at, just because he. Riley Nash, Nick Foligno, Zizekas, Forbert, Hagelin. We could also, actually, I realize it now, while we look at Aston Reese. He's playing in the minors, so we could maybe get some value. Third. So they offer a third, they offer a third this year. I'll send him to Winnipeg. Don't really remember who's who at this point, but best lines in the minors. So we're getting picks now for Reese. I don't want to give up everybody, obviously. I just think that'd be just killing it at that point. But let's just take a look. Okay, so I'm going the wrong way, but we're going to do it backwards. I saw Zach Smith was one. He's scratched, so I mean, would a team be willing to take on Zach Smith? A lot of draft pick offers. Still, I'm going to say no on that one. Brian Boyle. He can help you in your playoff run. Columbus, only because they're giving me a player back, so I can replace that. No, I do not want to give him to a non-playoff team. And I gotta go back 2 years. Trying to make this video not long, but still decent. Not enough for Brian Boyle, so we could stop. We're probably gonna stop here when it comes to trades, guys, just because I don't want to overkill and trade everybody on our roster. Corey Crawford, I think, was the other one. So it'd be a second, a third. So really, it's Columbus that wants him. There's no way we can get a first for Corey Crawford anywhere. I'm guessing most playoff teams have a goaltender that actually is capable of being where they are. Actually, who's their goals? I think it's Schneider, but how many years does Schneider have left? 2 years, so we really have 1 year with Schneider left. I wonder if I could pull something off here with New Jersey, actually. We do not have any first, so that's where we're going to look into some rookie skaters. Blake Spears is not actually a bad guy. He's Jacobs' guy. Josh Jacobs, I think. We're going to go see if Igor Shervak. So he's a 2018 5th round pick. So we may have been a steal. So why don't we try this? So what it is, guys, we're going to replace the goaltending for 1 year, but we're also getting a prospect back. I think we could pull it off. Trade rejected, of course. What if how many picks do I have this year? I have a lot of picks. Throw a Washington third in there, see if that helps. Trade rejected, so obviously I don't want to give up this young guy, but there are more options. They have a lot of centers. So Weiss, Eddie Weiss, Wise, no. Terrence Haynes. I doubt they're going to give me Haynes, but let's see. Trade rejected, I thought so. 81 at that age, at 19, that's a steal. Where does he draft? I want to look at him quickly. First round, second overall. Yeah, okay, we're not getting that. Try Weiss. Trade rejected. Did people just not want Crawford? Is that why? What if I take Spears and Vukovic? I know Vukovic isn't that bad. Trade rejected. I want to keep Spears on that spot for us. Pavel Zacha, is that one we could look at, or Drysdale actually? I doubt Drysdale will be. Actually, what if we take Spears out, put Drysdale in? Nope. I'm just trying to see if they'll actually give me, and I want Blake Spears. If they don't give it, then I'm just going to move to another team. Rejected. Okay, so never mind, they're not getting him. No other team's going to want him, I think. Yeah, no other team wants him except Columbus for some reason. Actually, Calgary, now that I realize, I don't know, who would their goaltender be? Cam Talbot and David Riddick. Let's do that, actually. I know they're not going to give me Lafreniere. That's far-fetched. I would love if they gave me Lafreniere. Bach's a good return. Dominic Bach. See if that's so Talbot and Bach for Crawford. Trade rejected. What a shock. Actually, now that I think of it, do they have him still? Jacob Peltier. Let's see if they can give me Peltier. Talbot accepted. I'm taking the risk on Peltier. I've seen him develop well. That's my defense. But I mean, so what this was, guys, is we just pick up an asset in Jacob Peltier. I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to simulate now the rest of the season. We'll go up to the draft. As you saw, Rainbow Six downloaded, good for Rainbow Six. Call of Duty came out. The new Call of Duty obviously came out. The new season. I am going to be working on getting a Call of Duty series going on with some friends. But I mean, trying to finish school, obviously, so we'll see. But I like what our defense looks like, obviously, and we'll see what this, moving on. Andre Kashi's back, so we got all our guys back for a nice little finish of the season. Let's see what we get. So we obviously lose 6-0. Brendan Smith, I'm not picking him up. Jake McCabe has broke his leg. He is out for the rest of the season. In the system, Luke Shen gets the lucky call up. Auto fix roster. There's more. Nick Paul, why don't you come up, buddy? Auto fix rosters. What's wrong? I have a lot of people wrong. Okay, I probably had a lot of injuries, guys. That's fine, obviously. Okay, Carlo's back. I love injuries in this game. And I will best lines it again. Kind of just go with that for the rest of the season, see if EA rosters can help us out here. It doesn't really, obviously we're losing games. Kashe out with a concussion. UC Sarles is back, that's probably why. Bykoff is up here, so that's good to see him getting some development time. I'm gonna send him back down now. Bykoff back. I will be giving, or at the end of the episode, I will look into development, obviously see how guys like Lucas Raymond, Marco Rossi are doing. Rossi, we're hoping he makes the squad next year, because I believe he said in his pre-draft interview that he'd be 1 year away from NHL readiness. When it came to Lucas Raymond, he said he was ready. It didn't look like he was 100% ready. So with that, we were able to, we just sent him down, getting some seasoning with the Prince Edward Island Aces. We have been not good. I think we've won, what, 2 games, I think, counted looking at this, since the trade deadline. So obviously we're back to tanking. Not really tanking, but you know what I mean. Next year I'm hoping will be a big year for us. I'm probably going to go out there and acquire some big name prospect. You can tell I'm tired. Some big free agent, help this team out. We start to build this team as we develop. I believe we have 2 picks for sure. The first round that I can remember off the top of my head. Obviously ours will be better than Dallas's. Looking at Dallas, actually I can see them. So 36, 43, and 3 good for 75 points, last in the division. One of the worst teams. Actually, we finished second last in the league. only the Predators finished last, and the Stars made the playoffs, so we do not have that pick as a lottery, but we do have a decent amount of picks for this year. Kasperi Kapanen led the way, 52 points. Obviously, I believe he struggled with us. The whole team struggled way down. Like, look at, yeah, minus 24, minus 27, 16, 27, yeah. So our goals for and goals against were probably the worst in the league. Yeah, so why don't we just see who wins the Stanley Cup here, and then we'll look into the draft and all that good stuff. Season completed. Okay. Hoping Dallas maybe gets knocked out first round. That way we do have a closer to a lottery pick, and we could try and move up. When it comes to the draft will be next episode with free agency. Like I said, gonna hopefully try and acquire the big name free agent. Not the big name, but at least someone big that can help us start to make an identity for us. We have a lot of options. Hopefully, Jake McCabe is back, so we're in June, so we're close to finding out who the Cup champion is. Carolina Hurricanes win with the Bakersfield Condors winning the Calder. We'll find out where Dallas finished. I just want to see where Dallas. So we are drafting second. Montreal jumped all the way up from 9th to 1st. So Montreal, then us. So we are going for anybody who is below 1st overall. We'll interview them. Hopefully this can really help us. Moving on, so Spezza, Gabrick, Stafford, Brower, Hamhuis, Como, Daly, MacArthur, Richardson, just to name a couple guys. Goaltenders, Justin Peters, the big name. Looking here quickly, I do not see, yeah, none of our coaches retired, so that's good to see. A lot of scouts now. Okay, draft interviews. Who is going second? So Atu Ratty looks like he's going first, so it's Caden Dillman. 35 points, 35 goals, 72 assists in 68 games played for the U.S. National Development Team. NHL ready compared to Owen Nolan. Let's talk to this guy. He looks like my guy that I'm drafting. Interview him. I want to see what his strengths and weaknesses are. Obviously, he looks like he's NHL ready. He says his shot's his greatest strength. Meanwhile, his weakness is his senses. So something we can work on. And he's a power forward, I saw. So that could be a line of the future of Marco Rossi, Caden Dillman, and Lucas Raymond. Got the power forward, the playmaker, and the sniper. That is the goals, in my opinion, for a first line. So Caden Dillman, perfect player we can get right there. Oops, I just messed that up. Okay, we interviewed Dillman. That's it. So let's just take a look at the awards first. So Carolina wins it. Tampa with the Presidents. Calgary versus Carolina. So we may have a higher one. Taylor Hall gets the Art Ross. Sebastian Aho gets the Hart Memorial. Good for Aho. Hedman Norris. Aho Lady Bing. Tukkanen to the Calder. Lindholm gets the Conn Smythe. So he plays against his former team. Wins the Conn Smythe. Good job, Elias Lindholm. Frederick Anderson wins the Vezina. Binnington, Williams, M. Jennings. Ledoux, the Masterson. Adams goes to New Jersey's Corbett. Crosby, Frank Giselke. Aho, Ted Lindsay, and Jamie Benn, Maurice Rocket Richard trophy. So when it comes to the playoff tree, Dallas lost in the conference finals, so we're looking at a very low 20s pick. We can actually check that. I forget half the time. Draft board. So 29th. So we're looking at Mason McTavish, Chase Stillman, Zach Stringer. And then we got 2 seconds, 4 fourths, or 4 thirds, 2 fourths, a 6th, and a 7. So we have a lot of players that we can look at, especially this time around. And I'm looking forward to calling Caden Dillman with the 2nd overall pick. I think he's going to help us out a big time. I'm just looking. He fits our scheme 4 bars, so that's perfect of what we want. So quickly, I'm getting close to that 20-minute mark, so why don't we just quickly look at some progress reports for the system. Brian Boyle's in the minors. That's awkward. Lucas Raymond up to a 77. Good for a fourth line. So in 40 games in the minors, he got 17 points. Oh, that was in the big league. So 42 games in PEI, he had 22. So not much altogether, but he's only 19, so he's got a lot of room for development. Marco Rossi up to a 76, so he looks like he could be ready, NHL ready next year. 95 points in 67 games with Ottawa, which is perfect. But okay, yeah, that's all that. Bike off. Oh, who was the goaltender? I keep forgetting my goaltenders. Boyle, he's a 72. 28 games, 12 wins, 726 saves, .917 save percentage, 2.55 goals against average. Not bad. Still young though, 19 years. Not much. Okay, so yeah, so this is it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about the moves, what this team's going to look like. I'll be back with the draft and free agency next episode. And that's it from you guys. Take care and enjoy.